did you think of the selection of films out there tonight?
Matt, do you want?
Well, I'll take it. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I'm still speechless from that last piece. Just incredible. Yeah, but the whole range were just another step up again. You know, we've been to many festivals now, and they just keep on getting better. So fantastic, yeah, great stuff.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, Seb, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I thought the standard was amazing, and I think Matt and I were both saying the variety was fantastic. 5 incredibly different films, and
yes,
beautiful acting, great shots, great direction, and fantastic storylines. I think we were both massively impressed.
Wonderful.
Massively impressed by what we saw.
Excellent. Okay, so let's look at each one individually.
Okay.
I'd just love to hear what you think of each. Just a couple of ideas, per se. Obdoc, tell me, what are your thoughts?
I thought this was absolutely... Sorry, Matt, you happy for me to go for that? Brilliant. I thought this was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And it was funny because I know that when Rob was talking about it, he was saying that obviously it's a university piece and we've got obviously a fixed amount of time that we can squeeze it into, but I could have watched that for a good 45 minutes, hour, and been utterly entranced by it. I thought it was fantastic, great, really interesting subject matter, because you think, well, a documentary on Southampton docks, I don't know if it's going to float everybody's boats, no pun intended, terrible pun. But I thought it was fantastic. And I wished almost that it had been longer. I could have quite happily continued to watch it. I thought shots were great. I thought Rob did a fantastic job on it. Beautiful shots. I loved the opening sequences. I thought the soundtrack was great. And also, I think Rob's skill as an interviewer, I think getting sort of real people just to kind of open up and talk about their work, I thought was fantastic. And you've got, in a very short space of time, real kind of warmth with these people who do a tough job every day. And I thought it was fantastic. I was really, really impressed.
Excellent, excellent.
Matthew, cheers. I think you covered it there, really. I mean, yeah, once again, just charming characters, and you know, as you say, the skill of Rob in getting the information and the sort of personality behind these workers down on the docks. That really came through, and you know, lovely pace. I felt, you know, the soundtrack sort of drove it along, and what could have been quite a relatively mundane sort of subject matter in places, but it really did, you know, the way the film was put together, it moved it along at an excellent pace. And you're right, so could have watched it for a lot longer, and you know, there's a lovely contrast between the sort of calm before the ship came in, and then the chaos of unloading and unpacking and everything else, you know, so the day sort of really did unfold in front of you. It was, yeah, lovely piece.
Wonderful, wonderful. I enjoyed the well, it's an observation documentary, so as Rob has actually said, you can't really use so many direct interviews. There are a few there to allude to an understanding of what's going on, but it is that fly on the wall idea. You see what's going on. You don't need to say, and now there's a boat pulling in. You see the boat coming in. It's
exactly.
There. But
exactly.
Effective. I really enjoyed that.
And it was so professionally done as well. I think I mean, if that had come up on sort of BBC Three and you were watching it, I mean, the quality, the professionalism of the piece was fantastic. I thought it was amazing. Really impressed.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you. Now, Nightmare at the Colwell Centre. A wonderful piece. What do you reckon?
Great fun. Absolutely, I think we both agreed. We spoke about it in the interval, and just great fun from start to finish. And some, you know, it's a classic underdog tale, isn't it? Really, and we felt for, you know, Colin Doyle, I think his name. You know, the night security guard, and you know, the contrast of this guy trying to prove himself as well. You know, there's still life in this dog yet. You know, and he's against the younger manager and so on. I loved all of that, and the character development. Again, you know, the sort of messages about little town centres today as well. You know, they're all closing down and deserted, and you know, if anyone's walked through Basingstoke town centre on a Saturday night, a lot of zombies and sort of drug and drink fuelled revellers and so on. So I you know, all of that worked very nicely, and it's great fun. Yeah,
definitely.
Cool. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I completely agree with what Matt said. I think I thought it was very, very funny. I thought brilliantly executed. I love the character of Nan, both pre-zombie and then post-zombie. I thought that was actually, did Matt play? Possibly Nan. Yeah, brilliant. It was fantastic. I thought I recognised Matt as Nan. But I thought direction was superb. It was quite interesting actually, because I thought Matt made a really pertinent point, and I think it's very true, and how difficult it is to try and get extras and actors involved when obviously you want to do it as a paid job, and it's sometimes very difficult as a director, trying to make kind of good quality films and trying to sort of get the people in to do them. But actors love doing these films. Honestly, they're brilliant, because not only does it look great selfishly on their show reel, but it's great exposure for them, and it's great work. And I think you've got, you know, really talented up-and-coming directors like Matt. You know, people want to work with him. And I think, you know, there are loads of great websites like Casting Call Pro and Castnet and Talent Circle where you can get actors involved. And, you know, I know for a fact that I will do basically anything for a sausage sandwich and a man hug. So if an actor, you know, is involved, you know,
we are
in that
talking
kind
about
of thing,
film here, right?
Yeah, purely film.
Right, good.
See me afterwards.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's great, and you can get people involved in it. But I thought Matt did a great job. I thought the fight sequences were great. I think perhaps the only thing I would pick up slightly was I thought the editing was superb. The script was great. Maybe just a little bit more zip in the dialogue between the actors, but that was the only thing that I could pick up on. It's not a negative thing. It was a brilliant film. I thought brilliantly shot, and yeah, I think we were both massively impressed by it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Antithesis by Miss Alice Stover. Another touching story.
Absolutely.
Raved about this, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah, and I did say I'm a little bit biased, obviously, with Alice having attended and only just recently left Queen Mary's College. But yeah, a very poignant piece. You know, a wonderful juxtaposition again of age and youth, I felt, and you know, the idea of memory being dealt with here in such a careful way, just really you know, reflected through the setting. And I thought it was interesting that the library wasn't the initial choice, but I felt the idea of books and holding of memories was excellent in this setting, and sort of non-linear sort of narrative and of memory itself, and this idea of emotions and connections to people and places and a certain time really came through with the watch as well, and the passing on from one generation to the next. You know, it was just succinct and to the point and moving, and all in such a short space of time. I couldn't believe how much emotion came through. It was fantastic.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, Seb, again, completely agree with what Matt said. I feel very lucky. This is the second of Alice's films that I've seen, and I love The Birdcage. I thought that was superb when I saw that, and she is. I think she's very bright. I think she's very intelligent. I think she's a wonderful filmmaker, and I think we can expect massive things from her. I was so impressed.
I agree.
It was a beautiful film. I felt a little bit of a tear halfway through. The bit where the granddaughter places the watch on the grandfather's hand, and you can see his hand trembling, and I thought that was just beautiful. And I think Matt made a great point about the books and how much history is captured in that. And I thought the beautiful thing, and I love colour in film particularly, and I thought Alice did a great opening sequence where it was deliberately kind of overexposed, that kind of soft yellow hue at the beginning, and then contrasting that with the black and white, and the sea with the grandfather kind of picking up his granddaughter, and everything that the sea captures as a symbol, and the age and the wisdom of the books. I thought it was brilliant. So much symbolism. Rich, gorgeous, sensitive, beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of work, and I think I think Alice is fantastic. I think we both agree on that wholeheartedly, don't we? Yeah, it was
wonderful.
It was a great film.
Well done, Alice. Excellent. Right. The Lion's Share. Very interesting piece. I've not actually seen many short films which actually use this tool of having narration to camera used in this way. I think it was quite effective. A couple of moments I wasn't entirely sure that it worked at every single point, but it is a very effective way of getting a story across. What do you think?
Yeah, I felt that worked very well, in the sense that Fox was a character that we were asked to identify with, and we did. He was a believable, likable it was a likable performance in terms of the way he dealt with us as the audience and directly delivered his narration to us. I felt that in that sense, with Fox, I thought, you know, great actor, absolutely fantastic performance, but I don't know if I believed him in that role of thug. You know, he was almost a bit too innocent and nice, and you know, he's kind of your mate, isn't he, this guy? And you know, you didn't want to see him get ripped off, and you didn't want to see him sort of come out of this, you know, out of pocket and having risked everything for nothing. But again, maybe that was part of the skill of the casting as well, in that, yeah, we didn't want to see him get ripped off, but yeah, in this gang, I didn't think it really fitted in with the kind of big burly meatheads and the other guys that were in the gang. I found it interesting that Jennifer said that she didn't feel the lighting worked particularly well in places, because I thought that was great. I thought that it worked really well outside. It's very difficult to shoot at night and in the dark, and I felt that came off very well. And yeah, again, you know, the shooting on a little DSLR, the film stock looked amazing, didn't it, in terms of the way the whole piece felt and looked and so on. It did. You could tell that she's got a background in photography, so yeah, it was fantastic.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you. Seb, yeah, it was an interesting film. I liked it very much. I thought young actor who played Fox, I thought was fantastic. I agree with Matt, I think, in terms of the casting, because he's obviously a good-looking lad, but I don't know. It's in some ways there's a little touch of almost like a baby-faced Danny Dyer about him. You know, you're willing him to do well, and he's enthusiastic, and you think, oh, you know, I want this guy to be our hero, to succeed, even though obviously he's involved in a in a sort of like a nighttime robbery. But I agree in terms of the casting. I thought terrific young actor, great enthusiasm, great passion. I love the narrative, love the narration style. I'm a big fan of that in film anyway, and I think that worked really well. Would you believe he was a thug? Perhaps a little bit too pretty to be one, but you know, that's an interesting casting choice, and sometimes it's quite a shock. You've got three big, strong, burly lads, and you know, this kind of like cheeky chappy, this charmer who's come in, who's obviously trying to work his way up the ladder, and there's room for a sequel. I think that's what's so exciting. It's so open-ended at the end. What's this guy going to do to come back and get his cut? And I think perhaps the only thing I would pick up, there was a great sort of tension scene at the end where they're obviously kind of splitting the cash. Would have loved some juicy close-ups there, because you've got actors who are obviously working their socks off, and you can't really sort of pick up all the kind of the details that they're going through. But I thought it was a great storyline. Definite room for a sequel in there as well.
Excellent, excellent. And now our final piece, Zion. Right.
Oh, are you happy? It's a difficult one to know how to start with it. Not only for me was it my favourite film of the night, but I personally think it is the best short film I've ever seen.
Really?
It was staggering, everything about it. I thought the performances were superb, the shots were amazing, the direction was incredible, tour de force performances. I just thought it was superb. I think Shamari, who played Zion, was outstanding. I think we can expect massive things from him. No pressure, Shamari. But I thought it was superb. The story was wonderful in it. I think reflecting on a young man's struggle to try and make, you know, something good for himself, and it's tough. It's a tough climate. I thought the performances were absolutely wonderful. I loved that there was the first fight scene that we see when all the lads, when the two gangs square up together, the actor who breaks them apart, that was one of the most brilliant scenes I think I've ever seen. Superb, really gritty, really edgy. I thought it was just beautiful, and I loved the ballet scene as well, and the fact that you've got these silhouettes and they're merging together, and the relationship between these two protagonists I thought was fantastic. Amazing film, amazing. I thought it was absolutely superb. Yeah, loved it. Big thumbs up.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think what struck me was, and this is not to take anything away from any of the other films shown tonight, but throughout each of the other films, Dave and myself, we were both sort of frantically scribbling away little notes and little points and so on. I think throughout the length of this film, we were just transfixed and sort of almost jaw on the floor stuff. It was just incredible from start to finish, and I just love the sense of the source of knowledge in Imani's character, and the role model that you know she was, and that she really inspired this young man to try and do something different with his life, and to take himself away from what I read as a performance of gang behaviour, this idea of playing a role and this certain type of masculinity that comes from a sort of gang mentality, and you know, the juxtaposition of that with the ballet as well, this idea of a performance, and And maybe, I don't know, with the silhouetting of the performance within the ballet, the sort of hidden depth and beauty and talent that so many young people have, and yet it isn't tapped into and isn't allowed to flourish and grow because so many lives are cut short. And that just, yeah, it was very, just so many messages in that film that strike a chord with so much that we see in the news today. It's just excellent.
Definitely. It's, I think what chimed mostly with me is it's this question of how do we inspire this new generation when we turn on the TV and the vast majority of what we see, especially now, is negative. As in, okay, there may be a recession, there may be fewer jobs and this sort of thing. How do we motivate people? How do we show what could be achieved, but how do we actually show a realistic presentation of the difficulties within life? Because without actually seeing them and understanding them, we can't even start to address them. So, impressive. Very, very impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Just a beautiful film. Oh, sorry. I thought it was absolutely staggering, and brilliant to watch. And I think Matt raised a brilliant point. I think it was so difficult because I can remember watching it, thinking, oh, I'm going to forget it unless I write that. I've missed a bit, and you almost want to rewind it. But it was superb, absolutely superb. But all 5 films were magnificent. I think we were just so impressed by the level, and it's so difficult. You know, you're trying to shoot on a shoestring budget. And you've got all these wonderful performances, and I think it's so great that we've got this, Seb, in terms of, like, you've got a great platform to get your work seen, because it deserves to be seen. It's right and it's important, and I think particularly with Zion that we've seen the messages, the reflection on modern day society is superb. Brilliant work, I think, from everybody.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure to see these films, and absolutely. Now, just a couple of points here. Now, something very important I did want to raise about Mr. David Holby here. Now, if you could briefly explain what you did very recently regarding a record-breaking row. How did this come about?
Oh, crikey, Seb. So I feel ridiculous talking about it, but I set out to try and row the distance around the Earth's equator, but doing all the miles on a static lab rowing machine. So I was based over in the Mall Shopping Centre in town, and for about 2.5 years, about sort of 6 to 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, I just sit on the rowing machine and sort of go up and down, and it was raising money for a brilliant charity called Breakthrough Breast Cancer. And that was fantastic, and the world record attempt was a Guinness World Record attempt, and just about managed to sort of drag my skinny body through that, and that finished just prior to Christmas, not last year, but the year before, sort of end of 2010. And it was brilliant for me, 2.5 of the most wonderful years of my life, and kids were amazing. I think we just live in the most brilliant town anywhere in the UK, and it was fantastic. It was a life-changing experience for me, and I kind of finished, and physically was a bit kind of shot up and a bit destroyed. So I kind of did the London Marathon then in the April, and sort of did like...
Of course you would. Why not?
Dressed as a gorilla, wearing a bra. So that was great. Ran that with a few other lads, and that was brilliant. And then kind of got married in the summer and moved house. So everything was a bit kind of crazy. But everything's sort of settled down now. So I thought what I'd try and do is now kind of try and take on another charity challenge for Breakthrough. And the target this year, I mean, I was rubbish at rowing. I'm even worse at running, but it's to try and run 1,000 miles in a year. Of course, all the money we raise goes to Breakthrough. And that's kind of including the training miles as well. But hopefully to try and run as many sort of 10-milers and half marathons and marathons as I possibly can, sort of around the country, flying the flag for Breakthrough. And we've got another rowing world record attempt at the end of October. So I've got a few months to try and get my fitness up for that.
Fantastic. Which record is that you're going to be trying to
So this will be... I only managed 30 hours last time, so I've got to try and pick it up quite a bit. But it's a record attempt for the longest continual endurance row. So it's 76 hours non-stop of rowing.
76 hours of rowing.
76 hours of rowing. I'm pretty rubbish after 6, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle. But I'm hopeful that I managed to sort of try and get through. And again, raising money this time for the Pink Place local Basingstoke charity, who are fantastic and so deserving of funds. And hopefully we can raise lots of pennies for them.
Absolutely. There is going to be a collection pot outside in the foyer, so that when you go out, if you do want to donate, then that's a place you can do that there.
Please do. It's a wonderful charity.
Congratulations. It's a wonderful achievement so far, and the very best of luck.
Thanks.
With your next endeavour. That'd be brilliant. And I must say, congratulations and well done to every single filmmaker here. All of them, not just tonight, but also yesterday. It's a weekend festival. We've had a number of wonderful films. You've all been amazing. Your work is fantastic, and I'm just proud to be able to actually screen your work and make sure that the press talk about it, make sure that word is spread about all these achievements, because it needs to be done. And thank you very, very much, everyone who's taken part. The audience, the film fans, the filmmakers, everyone here, our guest panelists, fantastic guest panelists, the staff here in Central Studio, our technicians, our camera operators, everybody. Thank you so very much. And I look forward to the next one. And details for the next film festival will be on the website very, very soon. But a big round of applause to absolutely everyone, our filmmakers, our guest panelists. Well done, everyone. Well done. Right, well, that's it for this particular festival. Go out to the foyer, have a chat with everyone. If you have any questions, please raise them. All of these filmmakers are really very friendly. And these panelists, of course, as you can rightly tell. Thank you very much again, everyone, and I'll see you at the next one. Thank you.